Alright, so, big news from Big Finish. Yeah, that was a bad joke. But yeah, Big Finish has announced that basically what's happening is that they are doing a new audio drama centered around, of all doctors, the War Doctor, which I think is awesome. Now, I know the War Doctor is a character that has put many people on the fence. I personally, I can see why people don't like the War Doctor. I personally don't mind because, one, it's John Hurt, and two, I think there's a lot of interesting stories behind it, and a lot of stories you can tell from him. But yeah, I can see why people, because again, he kind of messed up the order of the Doctors. He's pretty much the Doctor 8.5. So, with that being said, I think this would be, I got completely tied up in my own words. But yeah, I think there is a lot of potential here for cool stories. Again, we don't know a lot about the Time War. We know hints of the Time War, but we don't know everything about it, and we probably never will. We don't even know how long the Time War lasts, because it was a war based in time. And, for all we know, the war, in a blink of an eye to one person, would be 1,000 years to another. Because again, the Daleks and the Time Lords were literally using time as a weapon. So, I think it's cool that Big Finish has now announced that they're going to be doing War Doctor audio dramas. For one, they're going to start with the first one, and I don't know if they're going to do more than that. Now, this isn't the first time they have done new series. As we all know, Big Finish is best known for doing audio dramas based around Doctors 4 through 8. And they did do some other ones with the past, and they've done, the companion chronicles around the other 3 Doctors. But this is only the second time they've used New Who because of licensing. It's a little foggy of what they can and can't use in terms of New Who. But yeah, they have done. This is only the second time. The other one being that they have started a unit series centered around Kate Stewart and Osgood as the main characters, and a few other original characters for the show. The audio drama. So this is only the second time. So I don't know if we'll ever get like a 10th Doctor era, series or something of that like. But yeah, I think it's cool that Big Finish is getting a lot of, getting bigger and bigger, giving a lot of support to the classic Doctors. I mean, honestly, some of my favorite Colin Baker stories are not the episodes that he was in, are actually from the audio drama. Seriously, go check out Jubilee. It is amazing. It's from the same writer as Dalek, and it has the same plot as Dalek, but the difference being is that this is a whole lot darker. Excuse me. Yeah, this is a whole lot darker, and I don't want to spoil it, but go check out the 6th Doctor story, Jubilee. Anyway, so what do I think of a War Doctor audio drama? First off, it's always cool to see John Hurt come back and do more stuff, and I think, and again, like I said, I think it's a cool idea to see the Doctor during the Time War. We get to see a very, mentally and physically exhausted Doctor fighting against an army of Daleks, and maybe this will be a way we can see some of the stuff Tennant brought up in the End of Time, like the Skaro degradations, the Horde of Travesty, the Could Have Been King, and especially, I think, what a lot of people want, the Nightmare Child, which, if you've ever seen the fan-animated Dalek story, The Dalek That Time Forgot, it looks like a giant mutant Khaled. At least in the fan animation, The Dalek That Time Forgot. That was frickin' amazing. But yeah, there's so much we haven't seen, and that's just only a few things Tennant meant, the 10th Doctor mentioned in The End of Time. And yeah, we can maybe this would be a cool way to bring in the Time War version of Romana. Maybe we can see what the Ronnie was up to during the Time War. Maybe we can even see the War Master. Yeah, the version of the Master that fought in the Time War. Although they did say that, if you guys remember, that the Master came into the Time War pretty early because the Time Lords needed a soldier, needed a psychopath to fight for them. But then when he saw what the Dalek Emperor did with the Crucible, he ran. So he kind of he was part of the Time War before the 8th Doctor became the War Doctor and fought in the Time War. maybe we'll get something with that. Maybe we can get like Derek Jacobi to reprise his role as the Master and do like a one-off story as his time as the Master during the Time War. I can only hope. So, yeah, I think this is just nothing short of a really brilliant idea. Seeing the Time War and how the Daleks and the Time Lords used time literally as a weapon. And I think, there's so many possibilities, and recently we got to see some of those said possibilities during Paul Cornell's story, comic book story, The Four Doctors, where we got to see a little bit of the War Doctor fighting during the time, fighting a little more during the Time War, and what ensued in that. So, yeah, I can't tell you guys how cool of an idea of having, John Hurt come back as the War Doctor and see more of the Time War. So again, if you're a, Big Finish fan, go check it out. If you haven't seen Big Finish yet, or heard the better term is heard anything from Big Finish, highly recommend it. Where was I? Yeah. Again, highly recommend it. To name a few, my good friend Sid Part 2, thanks to Big Finish, Paul McGann is his favorite Doctor now. And I'm pretty sure, thanks to Big Finish, those out there listening to this and have listened to Big Finish, I'm pretty sure there are some major Paul McGann fans out there because of a major part of it being Big Finish. But no, they've done, like I said, Doctors 4 through 8, and there's so many good stories with them. The Seventh Doctor's story, the Genocide Machine. For probably one of my favorites for the Fifth Doctor in terms of audio dramas, Davison's Doctor, it would probably be Spare Parts, which is an amazing Cyberman story as well. It's probably my favorite Cyberman story ever. Not just in audio dramas, but in just Doctor Who in general. That's probably Spare Parts is an amazing story. But anyway, I'm rambling at this point. So you guys tell me, what do you guys think of a Seventh Doctor audio drama? Do you guys like the idea? Do you hate the idea? And what do you want to see out of this audio drama? Do you guys want to see more of like what the Time War was like? What do you want to see in the Time War? Do you want to see like the Nightmare Child, the Skaro degradations, the Horde of Travesties, what the Crucible was meant to be used for by the Time Lords, or the Omega Vault that the Time Lords use, like maybe them using the Hand of Omega again. So many, like I said, so many possibilities, and this opens so many doors. And, yeah. Anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.